Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be telling you how I became on a liberal and then how I left the liberal party, period, or the left, and it just period. So I started when I was 18. I had just registered for college, and I was moving into my dorm, and I stopped by Walmart. When I stopped by Walmart, there was people there for voter registration, and all they did was just sign me up straight up for Democrat. They didn't ask me any questions. They didn't ask me nothing. All I did was sign that, the little pamphlet, and that was it. Give them my ID, and I was registered. Bam, Democrat on the spot like that. You know, I didn't care about politics growing up. I never voted anyways. And if more so just liked American government, ethics, philosophy, but like knowing the nuances of politics, I really didn't care because I was, a college student. Then I went on to the military. Okay. I never voted. I never voted until 2020. And growing up, though, I will say my views from when I was 18 to now, they've never changed for the most part. I've always been socially liberal, but very fiscally, I've always been conservative. And the only reason why I was fiscally conservative was mainly because of foster care. Foster care put me in this state of paranoia and always wanting to be prepared for something. So I always have money. I always want to make sure I have money for any sort of emergencies because you just never know. Sometimes you can't depend on the government for everything. So as far as financially, I have always been fiscally conservative since that because of that trauma. But action wise, because I was always like, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want, especially when I came in foster care and people were like trying to get me to do things that didn't make sense. I was like, no, I'm not gonna listen to you. You don't even make sense. You're a grown adult, you act like a child, blah blah blah. Nah, fuck you, I'm gonna do me. And I had like the worst, people thought I had the worst attitude. No, I only had bad attitude towards people who liked to control my life and brought nothing of substance to me, that always wanted to bring me down. Why the hell would I want to stick around there? But I didn't know that was the leftist tendencies. I didn't know that was a behavior that seems to be only on that side. I have not seen it on the conservative side since I've been independent. But it wasn't until 2020 when I changed my mind on a lot of things, because I remember going to graduate school up in Chicago, and one, instant, so I had a friend in grad school who was a social worker, and I've done some videos with him. He's on the other side. He's a Democrat. I don't know where he lies being a Democrat, but he, as far as someone I could talk to, he's one who's never berated me. He's never berated me about my views. All my friends, I promise you this, being a computer scientist, all my friends except for, no, all my friends in grad school were not black. I was a computer science major, graduate major, and most of my friends were either white or ethnic, Indian, okay, or Asian. So I did have one, never mind, take that back. I had one black girlfriend, and we were in a robotics class together, and she did mostly my lab reports, and I just like to code because I hate writing lab reports till this day. I still hate writing lab reports unless it's chemistry. But anyways, it was her and her husband. Those were the only two individuals that were black that I saw at my graduate school in Chicago that I really talked with. But when it came to politics, I didn't really talk to them. I didn't care to even bring this up with them. But when it came to the white Democrats, my friends who were whites, and the other minority friends that were Democrats, they were the ones who would always bring up politics. And for the most part, with me being in the service, okay, they would want some inputs and all this other stuff. And I remember one day they gave me a test to see if I was either conservative or liberal. So they were asking me questions like, do I believe in a strong military? Of course I believe in a strong military. Like, if you're someone who cares about your countrymen, of course you want to make sure that there's always some sort of offense or defense available that's at its full strength, to make sure your neighbors, your sisters, and your neighbors, your brothers, your sisters, your families, your countrymen, they don't die, that they stay safe. Of course I believe in strong military. Of course I believe in borders. And the only reason why I believe in borders is because of sovereignty. The this does not mean I do not believe in immigration. I 100% believe in immigration. What I do not like is this illegal immigration, because if anything, it undercuts Americans, it undercuts blacks in particular by lowering, basically you're artificially deflating the value of the value of the labor market by paying these illegals under the table, which in turn hurts individuals like me, people from my community who are trying to work their way up from the lower social economical brackets to the middle, okay, to make their family lives better. Another thing that makes me, conservative is, two-family household. The only reason why I truly believe in two-family household is because I saw the damage that was done to me and my two siblings between when my parents were alive versus whenever we came in the system and the state took care of us. So 100% I am going to be for family. I will never, ever, ever be in the few individual, I'm sorry, not the few, the group mentality and group mentality that so many people have adopted when it comes to raising children. No, I firmly believe that the only people who truly care about their children are the people who gave birth, the people who fertilized this individual and brought them up, the woman who gave birth to them, the man who goes to work every day to put food on the table for them. I 100% believe in family. Bullshit, like full stop. Another thing when it comes to pro-life or pro-choice. So with me, this is the one thing that I consider myself to be a more liberal, I guess you would call a more liberal view on it, okay? Not trying to sit here and say that life isn't valuable. I most definitely do believe that life is valuable, but I understand if it's really early, honestly, it's first trimester for me. If it's outside of the first trimester, I'm not willing to do that unless it's, I'm not really willing to agree with anyone on that unless it is of extreme, hindrance to the mother. If it's going to hurt her health in some way, shape, or form, then I understand that. But if it's because you don't want to deal with the responsibility of bringing in this life into the world and now taking care of it, oh no, that's a negative for me. Nah. And then y'all were trying to get this all the way up to including after 30 days after birth. That's something I will never be on board with. So when it came to my one liberal view was that and the LGBTQ community. I don't care who you love. I don't care who you suck. I don't care who you bang. I really don't give a damn. But when it comes to children, children I believe should find out those things in due time. They do not need to be pressured. They do not need to be groomed. They do no. We have this thing called peer pressure for a reason. That word did not just up and disappear. And when I see a trend that's setting amongst teenagers, young children, we used to call that peer pressure, but all of a sudden we want to call that we want to say no, that's not peer pressure. That's these individuals coming out and showing who they really are. No, y'all are just you guys are just making it seem that way. Well, we know good and well this is nothing but a money sucking machine that you guys are creating. These children will be nothing but money sucking machines. All right. They will always need these medications and all this other stuff. And we live in a capitalist society, so I can't help but think that. And then seeing this when I was in foster care too, like doctors writing prescriptions for psychotropic medications just so they can get paid, keeping children's dope up at the expense of them just forming their brain and having coming into society without being doped up on shit and learning how to interact with individuals in society without being drugged. If they need some help as far as getting out of their shell, maybe they can do that with therapy, but they don't always need to do this with medication. Yes, everybody has anxiety, but that doesn't mean you need to pop a pill just so you can fucking talk to people. So I'm like, nah, I've seen this before when I was in foster care. So I do not like it when doctors go out trying to push all these medications, trying to push all this gene therapy, not gene therapy, but this gene hormone, these hormone blockers, saying that they're not going to have some adverse reaction, or they're not going to have some adverse effect on these kids, when they don't know that. They're just guessing right now. And then in 10 years, the damage is going to be done. No, to these children's psyche. No, I don't sign up for that. And if you want to call me, oh, you're so far right because of that, okay, fine, call me that. But my concern will always be these children. If they need the help, they need the help. If someone is truly has, dysphoria, then okay, send them to therapy. I will not play into the, to this whole change and all this other stuff. I will not play into the delusions of children who keep changing who they are. One day they are a dinosaur, the next day they are a cake. I remember one time my sister wanted to be a banana when she wanted to grow up. My parents didn't play into that. Okay, you're not some animate object just sitting around waiting to be activated. No, you are not a banana. You are a person. You are not a dinosaur. You are a person. So yeah, I don't like it when individuals use people like this and use children like this. So yes, to be honest, this is the whole reason why I decided to leave the left. I really didn't see it until, or I started to become more liberal. It really didn't see it until the year 2020. Okay, I noticed some of this stuff. I noticed some of it when at the turn of 2010, I noticed some certain things in society started changing. I started noticing how there wasn't as many strong men. That's another reason why I left the left, because I don't like it when women talk down to men. I don't like it when women say that we don't need men and all this other stuff, because we do. Okay, they build society, they build the roads and all this other stuff. Whenever there's an accident, when I was in Florida not too long ago, last month in Florida, there was an accident and there were firefighters. Every single one of those people, every single one of those individuals that exit out the firefighter truck to help the car crash, the car accident that was right there, they were all men. They were all men. Not one fucking female was sitting there. So I don't want to hear this from women saying that men is this, men is shit, men is that. We don't need them in society. No, I'm not on board with this misandry. It's just not something that's in my soul, in my heart, to actually just spilling that out into the world. It's just negative energy. So why would I want to do that when my whole objective, being a conservative, it's to live and embrace everyone who lives around me, okay, without collapsing on myself from some nihilistic freaking behavior. But seeing how a lot of my friends started to turn away from me mainly because of COVID, I took the real point was those individuals that were giving me this test in grad school. When COVID came out, and I took numbers from CDC, and my undergrad was a math major, so I put the CDC numbers in a spreadsheet, did the math, did the regression on it, and I came up with my percentage. I didn't think at the end of the day, at the end of this whole COVID thing, that there wouldn't be no more than 2 million individuals that would suffer from this. And this would be, I guess, die from this. But that number hasn't even come close to that number of deaths. Nowhere near the number of deaths that we have is near, 2 million. And that was me being very generous, okay? That was the plus or minus, okay? That was the plus side. But my actual numbers were right around 1 million. The lowest my numbers were around 880,000 individuals. But we don't even know whether or not the individuals that did die with COVID in their system, or die from the result of COVID. We don't know that. But yeah, so many of my friends from early on, when everyone was just trying to hunker down and see what is it that we're really dealing with, I had so many of my friends who were not, former mathematicians, recipients of an undergraduate degree. They were like theater majors, art history majors. They were the ones telling me that, why are you using people as as numbers? I'm like, what you talking about? I got that straight from the CDC. You mean to tell me I can't even research? You telling me I can't even do what it is that I went to school for? Like, you telling me I can't even study, not even the past? You tell me, you want me to be a heretic right now? No, you don't get to sit here and tell me what I can and cannot do. Okay, I'm sorry. This is just my opinion of what's happening. Okay, but I am not trying to treat people like they are nothing but numbers on a spreadsheet. This is how data works. Okay, but I was sorry. Then I was seeing them come all sorts ways out the mouth towards me, and not once have I ever been disrespectful to these individuals because I thought they were my friends. And so I had to learn the hard way. So I'm like, in a way, I kind of feel like I'm without a part. I feel like when it comes to friends that I would, can converse with on a daily basis, I can't do that anymore with them. So this is one of the reasons why I make videos, and hopefully I'll find my own family. Hopefully I can make my own family with finding individuals out there in the world who do think like I do. But until then, that's just the reason why I left the left. I don't like being told what to do. I'm a big, like, fuck you. I'm a big Eminem, Blink-182, that type of girl, because that was the only way I could, I had to put myself in that mentality to survive foster care. To survive foster care, I had to put on that mentality. It was the conservative mentality that got me through. That victor mentality that said, one more day, get through it. You'll have to do this the next day, but that's the way it is. You got to keep going. You just got to keep living. Okay, it's that left mentality where you just have to box yourself into an identity group and then harp on it because you are a victim, because this is a box that society puts you in. Not I will never be one of those individuals who will let another individual decide what is best for me and put me inside that box. No, I will put myself in whatever box I want to, and that's going to be the box that I say. Okay, I'm going to march to the beat of my own drum, not yours. In that box, it says Leah Middleton. Stay the fuck away from me. I will do whatever the fuck I want. But anyways, that's just my little story why I left the left. And if you, why I left the left, and if you are one of those individuals who just, can't seem to cross over to the other side, or you're thinking about crossing over to the other side, look at the inconsistencies. That's all I gotta tell you. Look at the inconsistencies of the ideology. Look how your friends will treat you when you do come out, okay? The ones who will still be by your side, not be it liberal, conservative, or independent, well, Democrat, Republican, or independent, they all have conservative sides. You do have liberal conservatives, you have you have Democrat conservatives, you have liberal conservatives, you have independent conservative. I'm an independent conservative, okay? So it doesn't matter what party they belong to. It's a mentality that you'll see in those individuals who will keep you around and still be your friend and still talk to you. So it was a huge, eye opener for me. And, without further ado, thanks for watching the video. I hope you like, subscribe, and sorry for talking really fast, but, that was a lot to unpack. Okay. Anyways, have a good day. Bye.